note transaction differs from a traditional real estate transaction, because most of the time when you are closing on a property, you go to a settlement. It's probably at a title company's office. There might be an attorney there and the seller and the real estate agents. There's a bunch of parties that all sit around the settlement table to get the deals done. That's where you're going to sign all your documents, hand over the certified check for your down payment or the full proceeds for the acquisition. You'll get your settlement statement, and then the title company fills in all the gaps. They're the ones who are going to record the deed. They're the ones who probably have a notary in their office to get the contract signed and all the agreements put together. In a note deal, it's so much less formal. Mortgage note transaction doesn't often happen with a title company. I have closed a handful of deals with a title company involved, and they're also not generally closed in person at a settlement. Most of the note deals that I've done have been primarily transacted just via email and some phone calls as well. So at the end of the due diligence process, when the buyer has completed their research and they're ready to close a deal, then they're going to inform me as the seller or whatever seller you're working with that the due diligence is complete. They're ready to fund the deal. At that point, the contract would have already been executed. The contract would probably have been signed before the exclusivity in the due diligence period, so that the seller has committed to selling the loans, or they may have just signed a letter of intent that the buyer provided, just to make sure the buyer is confident that at this point in the process, they are the exclusive buyer if they do complete their due diligence and close the deal. And then at that point, the seller is waiting for a wire from the buyer. The buyer is going to send the loan sale proceeds to the seller's clearing account or their bank account. The seller will confirm receipt of funds and then have the collateral documents packaged up, the assignment, the allonge, the note and the mortgage, all executed, put into a folder, shipped out to the buyer, and then the servicing transfer process begins. Unlike a traditional real estate transaction where the title company is recording those documents, in a note transaction, either the document custodian or the buyer is recording the assignment of mortgage in the public records themselves. So the similarity between a regular real estate deal and a note deal is that there are recordable public documents, in which case the assignment of mortgage in the note transaction or the deed in a real estate transaction. But apart from that, most of the work, since it's a B2B type of transaction, often homeowners acquiring a property through a professional realtor, professional title companies. But in the B2B world, the buyer is doing a lot of the work to record the assignment, get things going with their loan servicer. And the seller's responsibility is to have those documents prepared and then to initiate the servicing transfer. It's interesting that for the most part, note deals can happen quicker and with less moving parts than a traditional real estate deal.